Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Compliance Weekly for July 4th, 2023. I'll go through the agenda. I'll start by sharing my screen and we'll walk through the milestone board. So we'll have to go through the closed issues. Does anyone remember where we stopped last week? I think we discussed this one. We've also discussed the update empty text. Did we discuss the add adherence support feature flag?
That was the last one.
So the next one is on Unit. It's some visual update in the streaming event.
Oh, yes. So in the headers table within the audit event streaming, there was some just misalignment on the, as you can see there, on the delete buttons and some of the inputs. So it's just some quick alignments there to get that all right aligned properly.
Awesome. The next one is adding a section in the admin settings for instance level streaming headers.
Yes, so we had previously added a section for instance level destinations, but not for adding headers. So we had the APIs already. This was just adding the headers. So we now have a full destination editor.
Nice. So we also have a docs. Nice. It's all sorted. The next one is with Lawrence. I think, Nate, you might have some updates on this one. It's grouping of streamed audit events in the UI.
Yeah, pretty much nailed it. So we now have, I know we had the list previously of all the audit events. They're now grouped by their feature category, which makes it a lot easier for users to be able to find particular audit events. And I know we have a follow-up issue around searching for those feature categories as well.
And we also have a video demo on this. It's added to the weekly update. So if you want to take a look, you can go to and see that video. Hitesh, this is like sequence of issues that we're working on where we don't want to create audit events if there are no actual changes. So this one was for protected branches.
Yeah. So I have created one MR for this for adding test cases, and there was no null events getting generated.
Awesome. The last one is adding an end-to-end test for instance level audit event streaming. I think this is with Mark, and it's close. So I guess we've added all the coverage.
Yeah, that's fantastic as well with all the work that we're doing in the instance level streaming part as well.
Awesome. I'll go through the next item in the agenda, which also bookmark this one. So we'll go through the planning issue. This is the planning issue for 16.2. And yeah, I'll start off. The first one is assigned to me, which is the compliance adherence report MVC. The structure is complete. I've also implemented one check. The MR is in the final stages of review with the backend maintainer. They've added some comments. I'll be addressing them, and probably this should get merged this week. I also updated the OKR for this one to 35%, seeing the work that we've done on the backend as well as the front end side. However, we might not be able to release the MVC by end of July, which means we might spill this to the next quarter. Cool. I can also talk about this one, which is assigned to me, monitoring the Kibana logs. So I've been monitoring the this dashboard daily. I also created an MR for adding the missing events, missing YAML files. This morning I encountered another event which had a missing YAML file, which was related to the recent MR that we created for Google GCP logging, Google Cloud logging. So for that one, we did add a new audit event, but somehow missed adding the YAML file for it. So kudos to our monitoring, which catches these things. So yeah, I'll go back to the adherence report UI. It's with Jay. I don't have an update. Nate, do you have an idea where we are on this one? Okay. I'll probably, no problem. I'll probably sync up with Jay sometime. The next one is with Hitesh, which is emitting the instance level streaming audit events.
Yeah. So we are going to release the feature flag for this, as well as the APIs for event filterings are under review or under development right now. And as well as I have also created one MR, which we discussed last time, for creating the instance scope for instance level audit events. And that is also under review. Harsimer found out an issue with that, and I have fixed it. And I am about to push the changes.
That's awesome.
Second review.
I think Smriti from the auth team is also relying on that MR.
Yeah, and the other and the other epic trust and safety streaming audit events that is assigned to me. The fourth one from the bottom.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. So there is also dependent on that MR. So I'm prioritizing that MR so that Smriti instance audit events and this epic all gets unlocked.
Makes sense. I'm seeing all of them are at an instance level. So,
yeah, exactly.
Next one is with you, Nate. Streamed audit events filtering with UI. I guess this is closed.
Yeah, so that's the one that we just talked about. The two biggest parts of this was three biggest parts was adding the listing, adding the grouping, and being able to search, which are all now live. So we can turn on the release post for this as well, which is awesome. Nice. There's a couple of small follow-ups that we're going through, but most of them will all be completed in 16.2, so we're on track.
Awesome. Next one is with J, block merging if there are failed statistics. It's already released, but we need to add something, right? Some timeouts probably. Okay, I'm not sure where this one is.
I don't know where it's at, but we didn't. The status checks don't have a pending status at the moment, so we had to add that so we could do the timeout properly.
The next one is with Harsimer, audit events, performance limits.
Yeah, for this one, currently I'm extracting the queries from our code base. So that within this week, I will be able to complete that and share with the team. Then we can start converting them to ClickHouse ones. And
are we like documenting the queries that we have been?
Yeah, so I will, document that in the issue itself and then share it with them.
I already talked about this one. Then the next one is with Sam, converting the compliance dashboard into an insightful report. I guess Sam had some issues, some database issues with this one. I was reviewing one of the MRs to actually export the CSV, but then it was firing an N+1 query. We still don't have a solution to that. I'm not sure where Sam is at right now.
Yeah, next two are with me. So first one is related to the call brand protection. So last week I had a call with Michael to get the understanding of what we're trying to do. So currently this API has, I think, 7 backend issues.
Okay.
Out of them, we have completed one. So understanding the current status, we completed one and one is under verification. and rest of them are logged on the second issue. So in this milestone, I'm planning to deliver the second one. Most probably the rest of them will go to 16.3. And the last one, which is actually removing the old API, would go to the next major release. So that is just because it's a behavior change. So I will add this summary in the issue itself.
Okay.
But yeah, so current status is not correctly written in the planning issue.
Would it be possible for you to add a comment here?
Yeah.
That would be easy for all of us to follow.
Yeah. Yeah, I will add the comment.
Thanks a lot.
Second one is the streaming of audit events to Google Cloud logging. I think Nate has created a draft demo for the UI work.
Okay.
Yeah. I think this is on track for.
We'll also need a release post for this one, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So probably it's time for us to ping the PMs to create one.
Yeah, I've already pinged Derek on that one.
Awesome.
So hopefully we can get that soon. This week.
Nice. This one is on hold, so I'll skip this. We've already talked about this one. This was increasing the end-to-end test coverage. Camelia, do you want to discuss anything about this one? I believe you created an issue today for actually getting the approvals for these navigation changes.
Yeah, I just created the issue today, so we're waiting for the approval, and I gave enough information. I hope if there anything, I will just follow it up. So this how design thing is also like in the research phase. So I'm doing the prototype and hopefully like run the research next week.
Okay, awesome, thanks. This was something new to me. I was not aware, like if we change anything on the site navigation, we have to get some additional approvals. It's not just as easy as just renaming the tabs. The last one is managing the compliance frameworks. Nate.
Yes, that's just currently on hold with all of the changes. So nothing being done there. I just wanted to list it that we're that we're still thinking about.
The next one is to review the engineering dashboard, but this is not the first weekly of the milestone. Release post, not the final weekly. I see 2 items being added by UNIT in the FYIs.
Yeah, sure. The first one is just around the feedback. I've created an issue from the engagement survey that we recently had. So please have a read through that and add your comments as around some of those results. And the second one was Sam had raised a great point in our retro around compliance pipelines. And I know that we're getting a lot of support requests through Slack and issues and stuff like that at the moment. And I know York has been pushing the support side of things. So I just wanted to give an update with where that is at the moment. And is there any questions on that, or do you want to go through it in detail? I guess that there's 2 major initiatives that are happening at the moment, which is so compliance pipelines are moving over into security policies, which just means that there's a little bit of a hold on the work that we are doing. We don't want to do any improvements until that work's done. And the other one is we are talking with Pipeline Authoring Group around trying to make sure that we have captured all of the known issues that we have and look at a holistic approach to solving them for compliance pipelines. So I guess based on both of those, we're just wanting to document what we know about compliance pipelines and then look at those 2 issues in the future. So any support requests, you feel free to refer back to those 2. Better to Zephyr disappear too.
Sorry, power failure at my residence. I see we have the retro in the agenda as well. Nate, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so I know we talked about updating the retro. I don't know if we want to record this or if we should stop the recording now and then we can go through that quickly.
I'll probably say stop recording.
Okay, let's do that then.
Cool. I'll stop the recording. Thanks everyone for joining.